Today on the Tom Kelly Show podcast, we have Lulu and Lala of KTU Radio here in New York. They were on The Amazing Race, and Lala is going to talk about how she has breast implant illness, a very real thing that's happening to people who have breast implants. Why don't I let her tell her story on the podcast, and let's start the show. So here we go. Trigger warning, spoiler alert. Good God, check your boobs. You are experiencing, the Tom Kelly Show. We're talking boobs.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna talk it in a smart way. I am here with Lulu and Lala. They've been in my apartment for half an hour, and I'm not sure who's who. Just to be clear,
I'm Lala.
I had it.
You did.
Perfect.
And I'm Lulu.
And we're doing a smart episode with them, even though they're incredibly fun. That's what I would say. We're going to do something smart for a minute because Lala's been very, very open about breast cancer surgery, but it's like you have breast implant sickness. I feel awkward as a man even saying it out loud.
Yes, it's breast implant illness. It's real. The term has been out for a few years, but I don't think it's been given the attention that it deserves. And so since I've been through it, it is my due diligence to spread the word and help all those women that could possibly be going through the same thing I went through, all because of my stupidity in getting implants.
Wait a second. So I don't know if can you even say that now? See, this is the problem with me being a good-looking white man. I feel like I can't talk about any of this, and I should just leave the room, let you host the show for half an hour. And
honestly, a lot of men have actually reached out to Lala.
Asking for their wives or their girlfriends, or
vultures just trying to score.
Also that too.
Yes,
that too. But I find it really cute how these husbands, like, they sincerely care and they've noticed that maybe their wives have been a little sick or something's going on.
There's
with
a lot
them.
of symptoms that people may think, oh, maybe it's a little cold or it's allergy or maybe it's hormonal, and it really is the breast implants.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go really slow because I don't know. Like, you even just said something about it being stupid that you had your breast done.
Yes,
you got to be getting flack for that now too,
well,
right?
No, I don't think so. And if I am, that's silly because I made the decision. And at the time, I thought I needed breast implants. I saved up enough to actually have them. It's something that I always wanted to have because we're twins, but my sister's always been the fuller one. And I was it was more of annoying. It was an annoying thing.
And yet again, Lulu's making the face that you just can't get when you're listening to them on the radio. Oh, by the way, Amazing Race stars, WKTU stars, syndicated radio stars, Lulu and Lala. There you go.
So nice.
Okay.
But for me, it was more of an annoying thing. Like, you're this young adult and you want to wear these cute things and you're sick and tired of having to not be able to wear a dress because you don't fill it in or you can't do this. And I was just tired of it.
And push-up bras can be expensive. Ladies, you know what we're talking about.
And misleading. And I got tired of it, and I figured.
Okay. I guess first let's start with the smart stuff.
Yes.
And then we'll work backwards to you getting boobs.
Yes.
What are the symptoms of breast cancer illness? Because I thought they're all supposed to be safe now.
There's so many symptoms when it comes to breast cancer.
Because aren't they made of happy things? Aren't they filled with unicorns, fairy dust, and men's hormones?
No, they are not.
They
are not. You could have anything from muscle and joint pain. You could have issues with your thyroid. You could lose sensitivity when it comes to, headaches, migraines, vision loss, fatigue, sinus infection, UTIs. The list goes on and on.
And of course, cancer. Because
is that still a thing? See, I was told they're all safe.
They're not actually. And it's because of the lady that she spoke to, Dee, who actually made the FDA put a black box warning on the silicones, on the gels, on the saline implants, because they do have
a cancer-causing element to these.
So when the doctor opens the box of the breast implant, it has a warning like cigarettes on them now?
Yes.
Like it says, warning, maybe hazardous to your health, but awesome for your significant other?
And the doctors, surgeons should be telling that to their patients.
And you feel your doctor didn't?
Yes.
He didn't, because back when she got her implants, it wasn't an FDA requirement to have this black box label on them.
Okay.
And I did my research. I went through many consultations with different doctors, and I looked at reviews and all this stuff before my surgery.
Did you check Yelp?
And I did.
You checked Yelp.
You know, unfortunately for me, I don't remember ever a doctor telling me this. Had they told me, hey, this is a big warning, then yeah, I probably would have backed off on it and not gone through with it.
Okay, let's go back then. All right, let's go back to you. You're flat. You have your twin sister who's more voluptuous in your mind.
Yes.
Because I'm not. I just want to make it an issue that we are twins. I might be 2 to 3 pounds heavier, but we are the same. I mean, we're not.
Again, you were in my apartment for 25 minutes, and I was not 100% sure who was who.
Exactly.
So I feel like you're the same, but it's got to be weird. Like I always joked that if I had a twin brother, I would make him work out first to see if I'd be hot if I worked out.
You know, honestly, that kind of does happen.
Does that
I'm like
happen?
the guinea pig all the time. When it came to LASIK eye surgery, she told me to do it first, and like a dum-dum, I actually went through with it first.
I didn't make you do it. You just said,
you waited,
okay,
I kind of have I'm more of the risk taker, I guess. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it.
So
and
it's
then
not my
she
fault.
waited a year to see if my eyes.
Yeah,
would be
let it see what it
okay.
does to your eyes first.
I mean,
then
because
she
what
went through
good
with
is
it.
2 twins without having the ability to see? I mean, take one for the team, and then I got you. That's the way I thought.
I thought you'd each do one eye at a time, so that way you could each be blind in the same eye.
I mean, I guess you could have done the left, I would have done the right, and so we both would have.
That would have just been weird.
Oh my God,
But
then you could
yeah.
both share a driver's license.
We did that once too,
But usually it's been
Oh,
like
God.
that. I've always been the one to like kind of just go for it.
Okay, because it's funny. You're always so fun.
Yes, Lala is
Okay,
the bubbly one.
I would not have pictured you being insecure.
That's a good thing that you said that, because it wasn't an insecure thing for me. I've always been a pretty secure person. It was more of like this annoying thing. Like I didn't do it because I didn't feel like pretty or because a guy told me something and I had to go off and do it. I just wanted to do it because I just wanted to.
So it wasn't for a boyfriend.
It was definitely never for a man.
Honestly,
Okay, don't get mad at me.
It was her implants that made her insecure.
Yes.
I've heard
That's
that.
what made me insecure, to the point where I was covering myself up. I did not want to go out. I was even shy with my own boyfriend, where it's like I just felt very like not comfortable in my own skin.
So, but let's finish up the why you got him in the first place. And I don't think you have to justify it, right?
Yeah.
And nobody should.
No.
What year did you get them?
I got them in 2018. I
Now-
only had them for 3 years.
And without being crazy, but as a guy on the outside, I mean, I dated one girl who had them, though I think hers were filled with concrete. That's another story. She had like a
mine
cheap
got that
Florida
way.
one. Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But she felt at one point when I was asking dumb questions without a camera there, she said, no, they're safe now. No. Like, I feel like we all knew they were unsafe at a certain point.
Were they like rock hard?
Yeah, I actually chipped a tooth. It was...
Well, they were probably heavily encapsulated, which is what happened to me.
Okay, that's a big word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have this foreign object that you place in your body. The body doesn't recognize it, right? So once it sees that it can't break it down, it starts to form a capsule around the implant to protect your body. And so then, depending on how your system is and how healthy you are, your body will it'll get harder and harder and tighter and tighter. And that's why they become hard. And that's what happened to me. They capsulated, they became very hard.
They wouldn't move.
They wouldn't move. Like, they weren't bouncy or anything. And
They probably look good in pictures, though, in certain things, no?
yes, but not really. Towards the end, they just looked like 2 basketballs that wouldn't move. And I hated that.
Okay.
And that's what made me insecure, where I'm like, I gotta cover this, because this isn't sexy. This is not that.
And I can't imagine, as a guy who's had cheap dental work,
Yes.
I can't imagine implants, even of the most high quality, feel good after you get them, no?
Well, see, when I first got them, my first pair, because my whole experience was
So you've had two
Yes,
rounds of this.
Because the first time, one of them capsulated, the other one fell out of the pocket. So I had like uneven boobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that sounds gross, fell out of the pocket. What does that mean?
Okay, so sometimes
Like I'm just picturing you
have the
walking with
frame.
like silicone coming out of your.
Well, it's under the muscle.
It's under the
so-
muscle. I had mine under the muscle, so yeah, they were uneven. Like, you kind of felt.
So you
it.
have your boob, right? Let's picture a boob.
Okay. I've spent the whole interview trying not to.
Well, I'm telling you, picture the breast, and underneath the muscle of the breast, that's where the implant goes.
Right, and there's usually like a pocket. If it falls out of the pocket, you obviously have to get it fixed because it's.
So that's another surgery.
That's another surgery.
That's another. They put you under. I mean, it's in and out same day, right?
Yes.
But they're cutting you. You're on the anesthesia.
Your body takes a toll.
What made you give it a second shot at that point?
Well, I figured I didn't just spend all this money getting.
How much we spent?
I spent, how much was it? Like $6,000, $7,000?
That sounds cheap.
Well, I got it in Miami. Miami's always cheaper than if you do it here.
Because now this is a real stereotype.
This was back in 2018.
But in any year, if I go to Florida to get a cheap deal on cosmetic surgery, is that because they're cutting corners?
No, it's
because
because you have to think of market. I don't want to compare it to real estate.
But supply and demand or whatever.
Exactly. And you're in New York City. Everything's always going to be more expensive. Surgeries, clothing,
Doctor's
apartment,
appointments.
doctors. Everything's just going to be more because it's New York City. You go down to Florida, it's going to be less expensive, but you're still paying. I think it was $8,000.
No, it was $7,000, I believe. And it was a highly recommended surgeon that has done work on celebrities. I'm not going to say the name because I'm not in the business of bashing any surgeon.
Just write it down on the post-it right there.
He
just
did
write
his
it down right
job.
there. I won't say it out loud, but let's see what face I make. What other celebrities? Just write down the name.
He did his job. No, actually, I won't even. I won't do that either.
Okay. God, you're so honest. Okay.
So, and then, but I should have taken that as a sign. Like, my body clearly was rejecting these things. But in my head, I'm like, well, I didn't just spend all this money. It's not even been a year. I have to give this a second chance.
Right.
The doctor that originally did my surgery kind of was throwing me to the back burner. He wasn't answering my calls, trying to figure out a solution. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
He was being can I say it?
You say it.
He was being a dick.
Okay.
Well, maybe I don't like to think that
No, but you at the time thought he was being a jerk because you're making the face of I'm the correct sister.
Well, I'm her twin, so I'm going to always look out for her best interest. I never even wanted her to get breast implants because I thought that we weren't going to be twins anymore. I know it doesn't make sense.
I don't know, but now, all kidding aside, your twin sister gets the boobs done. Do you start thinking I need them too?
No.
Never, because I never thought it was worth me being put under for surgery. I'm like, no, I don't need this. I don't care for it.
Aren't you the smarter?
Well, listen,
I
I know. I'm just
And so
busting
the
your-
second time around, I remember telling her, I'm like, are you sure you really want to do this? Why don't you just take them out now?
And in hindsight, I should have listened.
Yeah, was that
to
a
her.
sign from God that this guy or something is...
Well, the thing is, I went to another surgeon to get it fixed.
Which you had to pay another.
6,000.
Yes. 7.
Or more.
7,000.
So we're now up to 13 grand on boobs for those of us keeping track. 14.
Yes.
7 plus 6 is 4. 14?
14.
Yeah. Okay, 14 grand on boobs.
7 and 7 is 14.
No, so it's 13 grand on boobs. I had it right.
Yeah. So then this doctor suggested that I go bigger because he explained to me that perhaps my frame for the implant that I have, it was too small, and that's why this one fell out of the pocket. Now he is he's the surgeon. He explained it to me. He showed me. I'm like, all right, well, this makes sense. Let's just do it.
To me, that didn't make any sense at all because we have small frames,
Yeah.
So to put bigger implants, I'm like, that's not going to look right. It's not going to look natural like you wanted. It's just going to look
Definitely
very
did not.
obvious that you have breast implants. So
It was gonna be slightly. He said you probably you won't notice how much bigger you're going.
and he was a liar on top of that.
Well, needless to say, when I saw myself after that second surgery, I knew it was a mistake from the very beginning. They were way too big, and on top of that, I had blisters all over my nipple because it's just, I don't know. Sometimes
You know what I love?
feel-
You caught me making the face and trying not to look at your blistery
Sometimes-
nipples. Okay.
Sometimes I feel that maybe the surgeon didn't even do the surgery. Maybe it was one of the interns.
Well,
The
listen, I
people.
had a moment.
I have no idea.
This was it in a hospital or in office surgery?
No, it was in a hospital.
Okay, so I don't trust doctors at all. I've been put under twice. Once when I was a kid having my appendix out, but I was in so much pain I don't remember being put out. Second time was just recently for my first colonoscopy.
Okay.
And I'm only just dropping that so I could feel, I don't have the look on your face right now. Cancer-free, everybody should do it. But there was this scary moment of I'm sitting there in this wood-paneled room from 1972 where they were doing the surgeries. The rest of the office looked great, but the surgery room was like wood panel, like you're dreaming it was wood panel. That's updated, Tom. But the little thing fell out. Like the anesthesiologist, it's kind of like these cables of, how this plugs into the board. The in-between thing fell out. And I caught her. I'm like, should that be on the floor? And they're like, no. And they plugged it back in and I went out.
I hope they sterilized it.
I think at that point,
I'm fine. I'm alive now. I'm not going to second guess it. But anyway, my point is I had to do it because my doctor told me to do it. You've now done this twice.
Yes, I have.
And then you go a couple of years. You go 2 years.
Then a whole year goes by, and the healing for the second surgery took longer. It was a lot more painful as well, and then the pandemic happens.
Right, but in the process, she started getting these rashes on her neck and her eyes.
Migraines that I never really suffered from.
Did you have these symptoms while you were doing Amazing Race?
I had heart palpitations while the Amazing Race, and even in between the Amazing Race, but I just always ignored it. I just thought maybe it's anxiety.
Never ignore heart palpitations.
And I'm just stressed out and stuff like that. I didn't think much of it.
And her attitude, I feel,
changed completely.
She was more like catty, like anything would tick her off. She was she was always the bubbly fun,
And I kind of, again, it was slowly me going into this circle of insecurity and not being able to pinpoint why am I like this or why are my boobs getting harder and harder by the day. The pandemic came, they got harder, and then I'm like, what do I do? And then
what did you do? Who do you call?
It's funny because it was the stupid things that actually opened my eyes. We did this whole Instagram reel. People were,
It went viral on Instagram.
Well, I mean, they had like 2 million.
Oh, just like 2 million.
2 million. Well, I didn't really expect any views. We were just playing and just
trying to. She was actually in a bad mood that day. You were snappy with me.
I was. I'm sorry.
I feel like this has turned into a Maury Povich, you need to apologize to your sister moment.
But we recorded it, and I remember my boobs were hurting as well because they get hard, and of course they're going to hurt because something's going on in there.
You were wearing a crop top, and I think that your nipples were like very out there, and people started commenting on.
And then the comments
So wait, that's what happened? So you weren't even doing a boob-related Instagram?
Nothing at all. But it was the comments, and it was, I don't know how many comments it got.
But everybody started saying your boobs look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some
And
things,
that's what made you realize something was wrong.
funny and stuff, and I'm like, this is funny. I didn't get offended. I laughed at it, but it kind of made me think like something is wrong. This is not normal.
Okay, and now very real as a man who has been trolled more than once on the internet. At what point do you go from thinking, well, these people are just being a-holes trying to make me insecure to, oh, wait, maybe they're right. There is something wrong with me. Was there like one comment that stuck out in your head that made you say?
Yes, it was two. One of them said, oh, I think I see Snoopy. And then the other one was...
I mean, it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah. It was funny. And it was cute.
But that's the one but who'd have thought it was...
And the other one was, I think it was a girl where she came off pretty aggressive. She's like, cover that up. They're basically whoever's your surgeon did a bad job and they're super encapsulated. Something like that where I'm like, why is she coming so hard for me? Like, leave your comment, but...
Was she being kind or being mean, do you think?
I like to think she was just being honest. I don't like to think she was purposely trying to be mean.
But we're going to argue that despite your sister telling you not to do this once and telling you to take them out twice, and your mother... It's an internet troll that possibly put you down the path to saving your life.
Yes. And I have to just say thank you to that person. Thank you.
Thank you, Catty B2712.
I actually did post that on Instagram. I've been posting little videos, and I'm like, thank you to the trolls because you opened my eyes for something that...
They saved Lala's life.
Yeah. And then my friend who also had her implants removed, she actually... had cancer. So she ended up not only having to remove it, but she went through the whole process of, dealing with the breast cancer. She had her back muscles removed and placed in the front for reconstructive surgery, and it was all because of BII, breast implant illness. So those two stories kind of at the same time, and my cousin was going through the same thing, and she had worse symptoms than I did. So it all kind of fell together, and that's where I'm like, okay, I cannot continue with this.
Okay, now 2 layers of conversation we got to hit here. 1, you now are on the radio all the time. You've been on TV.
Yes.
You got offers coming in. You have an agent. Well, actually, he just died. But other than that, you're a big shot. It's got to be weird to talk about this in public. Like, do you feel it's a career risk?
No, I
don't think it is. It made me love you. It got you a second appearance on this podcast. Yay.
Thank you.
lucky.
No, but for real, I think it's brave because it's something that...
I did think when I first decided to talk about it, I thought, okay, well, if I got trolled last time, I'm probably going to get trolled this time. People saying, well, you got yourself into this, or stop trying to preach, let people do whatever they want with their bodies. And I thought, I'm not telling anyone what to do with their bodies. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they want. But what I am saying is, before you do anything, go speak to the doctor, research what implants are now causing, and just be smart about it. Like,
Be mindful of the consequences that can come with any surgery, not just breast implant surgery.
Okay, so you hit a big one there. Is like, listen, and part of why I'm so fascinated by you, or impressed by you, is a better word. I worked at Rosie O'Donnell back in the 1990s when she was a pioneer in talking about getting breast screenings for breast cancer. And even then, you couldn't say breast on TV. I mean, even still, I am 46 and a half, and I feel weird saying breast in my apartment with 2 women. Okay? No, I just...
I could see that.
Like, I mean, let's face it, we worked for the same company.
Yeah.
If I say breast 6 more times in a sentence, you could call HR justifiably. But now here you are, you're talking about... And then you go the other way, in this age of people want to have surgery when they want to have surgery. You can't shame people.
Right.
You can't shame people for wanting implants. You can't shame people for not wanting them.
Yep.
You got to be getting it from both sides now.
I have had a few comments of people saying, well, who are you to tell anyone what to do when you yourself went and did it?
And there's reasons why other women
and I understand that
get breast implants.
There's people that have survived breast cancer that kind of now want to look and feel pretty, and they don't want that emptiness. And I understand that people have gotten breast implants for health reasons and all that. But I'm saying, if you're perfectly healthy, right? Just really think about the consequences that you could cause to yourself. Because right now I'm in a moment where I'm in the healing process, in forgiving myself for putting myself in this situation.
Okay, now, do you need forgiveness for that?
I need forgiveness. Yeah, I think I do. I have to forgive myself because I know that my mom suffered so much. I know that she had to deal with covering for me at the radio station, and that's all the weight put on her, which I don't think is fair because, again, I made this decision and I didn't think about the consequences that made me, it put me in this position. Also, my grandmother had survived breast cancer twice, and I remember taking her for chemo and all that. I remember those trips, and me knowing that and everything that my grandmother went through, I start thinking, why would I put myself in this situation? Why did I have to get these implants? They really were not worth it.
Okay.
So I put myself in a situation where I could have given myself cancer.
Did you have the voice in your head to not do it when you did it?
No. I was just excited. I thought it was.
Well, I don't think when you
fun.
do any type of surgery, right, you're not thinking the negative aspect of what it can bring, right?
But you should.
You shouldn't be that hard on yourself because.
Yes, you're right.
And you weren't told. We don't have the information that we have now about BII that we.
But again, it's a whole process. Like your body goes through this. Looking at yourself for the first time after you've taken your implants out, like you've been so used to seeing yourself a certain way. Now you see yourself, and it's like, oh, okay. And you have to constantly tell yourself, it's going to take time to heal. Everything's going to fall right back into place.
Which, by the way, they look amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Show them. Show the people what they want.
Folks.
Yeah, it does take some time, and it does kind of mess with your head here and there, but you just have to stay in a positive mindset and know that the reason you decided to take them out was for a health reason. And that's what I keep. For anyone that's reached out to me and that's maybe going through it, I tell them the same thing. Remember why you decided to take them out in the first place. Because health is so much more important than looks definitely not worth it.
Okay. So what do you say? I'm going to ask you 3 more questions. We'll close this up because I know you
ahead.
guys have jobs to do. Question 1. What would you say to young women or old women thinking of getting breast implants?
I would highly suggest they reconsider, and I would throw them all the information, the new information that's out there about breast implants and the harm it could cause you.
Next question. What do you say to women who have breast implants but feel fine?
I would strongly suggest they go get a screening and continue to check themselves every year, which is fine. I know people that have breast implants. They're perfectly fine. They're perfectly healthy. And that's amazing. That's great. I'm happy for them. But that shouldn't stop you from checking yourself every year.
Is that part of the process when you get implants, to check once a year, to go to a doctor to look at them once a year?
That's the thing. Like, I remember when I got my implants, nobody told me I had to go get screenings or whatnot. But
Okay.
it's you should just always, every year, go for a full checkup.
And I just want to make it clear that everybody is different. So there are a lot of people who've had breast implants for years. It's never caused anything. They have 0 symptoms, and they could probably go on with the implants for the rest of their lives. There are a lot of women that the body is rejecting the implants. They don't know, and they think it's a sinus infection or allergies
or the thyroid or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think your sister just brought me to the last question. Is what do you say to people who might be getting sick, or how do you know you're getting sick from BII?
Right. So I would
BII, breast implant.
Yeah. Go to your doctor, make sure that they do a full checkup, and then speak to your doctor about your concern of it being breast implant illness. There's a lot of doctors still that haven't caught up to it, because I remember specifically for my cousin, her own doctor, she went to different specialists and nobody pinpointed at the fact that it was her breast implants.
The thing is that you have as a person, you know when your body is not in the way it's supposed to be. You can feel it. If you're sick, you have a cold, you know that your body is not right. And so what happens to a lot of women that have BII, they feel the fatigue, they feel like there's something wrong, but they do the blood work and everything comes out like it's fine. So it's now like the doctors are telling you you're fine. You know, though, that you aren't fine.
And things just don't make sense, which is what happened with my cousin. She went to all these specialists. Everything came out fine, but she still felt crazy because nobody could answer her.
Yeah. Well, and now
it wasn't until a cardiologist, because she had to go to...
But the cardiologist is the one who figured it out?
Cardiologist is the only one that was aware of this new information of BII, and he actually validated it for her. And then that's when we both decided to go see an expert in explanting implants, and that's when it all clicked.
And actually that's the word we probably should have used at the beginning. Explant.
Explant, yes.
It sounds like eggplant.
It's not eggplant, it's explant.
And that means somebody who had implants and got them out.
Yes.
Explant.
Explant.
Eggplant, just delicious when breaded and served in a Parmesan.
Yes.
Got it. Know your difference between explants and eggplants.
Yes.
Eggplant emoji you send in the middle of the night. All right. And now, where does the Lulu and Lala brand and show go? You've been talking about it on your radio show, and people have been supportive about that.
They
have been supportive, and I love the fact that women and men are reaching out, wanting this information, because maybe they see that their significant other is feeling a certain way. And if we're able to at least provide that information, maybe save a life or two, then I think that we've done
our job. And it's so good to be able to talk to different women that have gone through the same process. There's like this it was a sense of relief for me when I took them out. And for my cousin too, and for all these women that have gone through it, it's just... Okay.
And I think it's great since we do radio, right? So we like to entertain, we like to put smiles on people's faces. And now if we're able to do that and help somebody that might be going through the same thing.
And I've actually taken this whole process and I make so many jokes about it. Like I laugh at myself.
Well, the two of you are charming enough to talk about it.
I play with my implants. I have them.
Well, do you have them?
We should have brought them.
They let you keep them?
I paid for them. Of course I'm going to keep them. But
right now, the 100th caller, 1-800-242.
Yeah.
And what do you do with them? Do you just...
They're just there, and sometimes,
You know what they are? Good stress reliever.
Yeah, you just, they're there.
Send them to an ex.
Here you go.
Oh my God! Wait, what's that paperweight? No, it's my left boob.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? The textures in each implant, they're different. Which
You can tell which one was the
Yes.
one that was.
Both were bad, but you could tell which one was the worst one.
And was it leaking though, or it was just?
It wasn't leaking. Thankfully, it wasn't leaking. But they were just very. I don't know how they didn't pop because it was so encapsulated.
Yeah.
So it was so thick. The doctor had never seen such a thick capsule.
There's breast implants that have mold inside of them, and that can get somebody very sick.
Yeah.
And people aren't aware, or they don't know. How do you know?
Some are under the impression that saline is healthier than.
I thought it was. Yeah, isn't that? That's what I've
a
heard.
foreign object?
They're all the same thing. It's a foreign object that you're
Doesn't
putting
belong
in your body.
And then what about now ass implants? Because I was thinking about that.
I don't know much about that, but I don't think it's healthy either.
No, though, and I'll tell you, I saw. Actually, this, the person's not talking to me, so who cares? So there was a friend of mine who I was trying to score with.
Okay.
And if you were ever thinking about getting ass implants, I mean, I was such a simp. That's what the kids say now. I was such a simp for her. She blew me off and then called me about a year later when she was switching apartments.
Okay.
And so here I am carrying boxes for her for about an hour. And it was the weekend she had her ass implants done. And she flew down to Orlando, flew back to New York, and if you saw this special pillow she needed to sit on for a week or two.
Oh yeah.
It's like it looks like
Like she was getting in a taxi and she had to bring like a child seat for herself. And you would just say, why would anybody do this to themselves after hanging out with her for a week?
How did they look?
Too much.
Yeah.
She was genuinely, now, this is the urge where I want to give out her real name. No, she was genuinely one of the prettiest people ever. She grew up in Florida, and I think she was one of those people who was hot in 21, dating an older rich guy. Then the older rich guy decided he wanted the next 21-year-old. When she was 26, she was still gorgeous. I mean, beautiful, but real looking. And what does real looking mean? She just didn't have boobs or ass done, and it was like a tractor trailer got attached to her cab. It was just not human.
I don't know. What is it with people and the fixation on asses? Like, what is that?
It was never a thing for me. And I don't want to go too far down creepy road, but she was prettier without it. And that's not my end. Let me be so aware of my privilege as a man. It's not my place to say, but looking from the outside at the physical discomfort she had to go through to get to the ass that I didn't care for.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't comment because I went and got breast implants when I really didn't need them. So,
but you knew people who had them before, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I find the cure for cosmetic surgery is meeting someone else who had it. In a lot of cases, I had my teeth done, but that was because I was missing teeth. I wouldn't tell anyone to do what I did for fun. By the way, my teeth cost much more than your boobs. That's a sign you got a cheap deal. Yeah, this is $20,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
They look
great. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. And I'm not getting BII.
You're not.
Yeah, should have spent the extra money.
I should have.
Yeah.
But
in fact, I'm going to make that decree now. If you're paying less than $10,000 for your boobs, folks.
No, but that's standard in Florida. And then
okay, if you're getting your boobs done in Florida, folks, watch me start getting.
Of course, now the price every year everything goes up higher and higher. So now getting implants down in Florida are probably about the same, maybe 10,000, 9,000.
I don't know. There's a reason why things are more expensive in New York, and that's because we have rules. Nobody wants to follow them. Things are cleaner.
I just feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And
period.
boom, that's the real moral of the story. All right, that's the note to get out on. Folks, listen, Lulu and Lala, Monday to Friday on KTU here in New York City. You could get it on the iHeart Radio app. What is it, Lulu Lala on Instagram?
Lulu y
Lala. By the way, I want to name our show Lulu y Lala y Tom.
Love it.
Lulu Lulu y Lala y Tom Kelly, and just really white it up on the Tom Kelly. I'm going to have them back on in April, I hope. And listen, folks, show love where love can be shown. Share, come to the TomKellyShow.com for information on BII. And that's it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having us and allowing me to talk about this.
This sounds crazy, but one, I'll never need this information myself, thank God. But two, I'm just so impressed with you talking about it. Like, we're in a very shallow business.
Yeah.
And even years after Rosie O'Donnell doing breast cancer this, breast cancer that, it's got to be hard to take a leap into the very cold world of show business.
Yes.
Where you get a lot of affection from some people, not enough from others, and then you got trolls. The same trolls who saved your life are now judging you for having your life saved.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with the two of you, and you got a good sister behind you.
She is the best.
Yeah, because you're very good at playing like, I'm the hard ass. I told her not to, but we love her anyway. Like, you really are the voice of reason.
She is.
I mean,
she is actually... I'm always dependent on her, but she's dependent on me deeply.
I would be nothing if Lala was not here. Because it's true. It's a weird thing, but if
well, you probably would have been a stronger twin and have gotten all of her genetics and extra milk growing up. Or in what is it, embryo fluids. You would have gotten all her extra embryo fluids.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a triplet and you both ate her.
There could have been.
Can you
all right, you know what? This is a whole other podcast. Come back in April if you want to hear them. Good night, Miami.
Bye.